Ooh, that's too hot, too hot. What are we doing today? Hey everyone, I'm Rosie and welcome back to my channel, the place on the internet where we make collage art. So today we're doing something that I don't usually do, and that is making a collage using vintage maps. So I don't know why I don't normally gravitate towards using maps in my collages, but I would love to. I think they're great. So I sort of want to push myself today to incorporate a map into a collage. I have done one collage with a map. I have it right here. So I made this to sort of promote voting in the last US presidential election. But as you saw, it's sort of just a background. It's sort of like just a texture. It's not really like integrated into a scene, which is sort of what I normally do. So I want to push myself to do that today. And let me show you the two books that I have. So I have these really old books that my dad got me kind of a while ago. They're complete geography collections and there's tons of maps in here. These are both New England editions, so they tend to steer towards the New England states, but there's plenty of other full US maps and some world maps too. So I'm excited to dig through these, but first we need to sort of figure out what scene we're gonna use the maps in. So I'm gonna look through some other books. So let's jump into looking at some stuff and I'm sure we'll figure it out and we're gonna make a cool collage with a map today. So let's get started. All right, so I just flipped through a bunch of stuff and I have some ideas, nothing's incredible, but let's chat about some of them. In some of the older Nat Geos I have, there are ads for cars and some of these just look cool because they're vintage looking. And I was thinking maybe we could do a cool like split the car thing on a map. So have it like the car was going in on one state and then out on another state. And that might be an interesting, cool little like portal concept. So that's one idea. I also found this guy, this picture's kind of small, but this guy is like cooking at a campsite. And I was thinking maybe we could cut out a lot of this background and nestle it in the corner of a state, maybe. That's kind of an interesting idea. The next one is, oh yeah, this guy rock climbing or rappelling or something. But if we could find a map with the state big enough, like the side of Maine is like really long and tall if he was like rappelling off Maine, but we kept the background here, but then replaced this rock with Maine, might be an interesting idea. It's kind of big though, so the map itself will have to be big. Not sure about that. So there's this girl canoeing and I would need to find another image to pair with this, but I liked the idea of finding an image with a river and taking the river out, replacing it with a map, and then we could put the canoe girl on top of the map, so it's like she's canoeing down this map river. I didn't find anything to pair with that, so that might not work, but there's another idea. So the last idea, I found this denim couple in this New York book, and I was thinking maybe we could cut their outfit out and replace it with maps, and it'd be like two different maps, so their arms would be overlapping the other map, so it'd be like two maps coming together. I kind of like this idea, but I also really just love this image and their denim outfits, so part of me doesn't want to replace it with anything else because I kind of just like it the way it is. So that was, a bunch of ideas, but none of them are really incredible. I'm gonna start cutting some stuff out, maybe look through the map book and try to finesse some of these ideas a little bit more because I am not super sure yet what we're gonna do. So here's how far I've gotten integrating these two together. And I really like the idea of this guy climbing up the side of New Hampshire here. It's got such a cool, like almost mountain-like shape to it anyway. So I really like that. But now there are a few areas that are kind of weird in this whole composition that I think I need to solve. The first one is up here. You can see the rock, and I think that's kind of ruining the illusion. If this was sky, it might look better. But I think maybe the solution is to cut out everything up here minus the mountain. So from the mountain up, cut out everything behind the guy, so the sky and this rock. And then it might look cool if the mountain is just running into the map. And so it's like the guy climbed from this scene into the map, and that might look really cool. Or I could find a different sky and replace the sky completely. So that's one thing I have to solve. And then the other one is the photo lines up pretty well to the border of the state down here, but the edge, I'm not exactly sure how to integrate the edge of the map. It might just be that I cut here along the border of Vermont and stick the image in there, but then Vermont sticks out a little bit into this lake, and the image is sort of long enough, but not quite. So where do I integrate that? I'm still not exactly sure, but here's where I am right now. I think that this is a really cool concept, so I'm excited to see how it flushes out. So let's do those two things that we talked about to try to solve and check back in once we do that. So I think that we've solved a lot of the issues that we were having before. I love how the photo is integrated down here now. It has this like clean border of the state of Vermont, and I love that. I think there's still some finessing that needs to be done up here, but that's pretty minor. And then the one thing that is still very weird is the rope they're using to climb is abruptly ends right here. So that's a little bit weird. I also feel like it doesn't stand out as much as it could. So I think we need to recreate the rope somehow, and that might be I just cut out little strips of black paper, that might work, or I could use embroidery floss to use as the rope, and that might be a nice like 3D element. I think that would stand out pretty well. So I think we need to address that, but other than that, I think that this is looking pretty cool and I kind of love it. I dig how integrated they are. So let's do some of those final touches and I think we will be able to wrap this up. So I cut out some skinny strips of black paper, and I think if we use these to replace the ropes, then we can have this one go all the way to the edge of the paper, which I like, and we can replace this one down here. And I think that that just helps the illusion a little bit more. I'm really liking that. And so now I think we need to glue this down and trim up some of the edges, and I think we'll be good to go. I'm so happy I was able to get the map to be such an active participant in this piece. I was worried I was gonna have to just like use it as a background or something, but the fact that I have an image that's like completely interacting with the map, I think is perfect. I love how this came out, and now maybe I'll use maps a little bit more now that I have one collage under my belt with a map. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you next Thursday for another collage video. Bye.